Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to another coffee time where we look at the news. Look at the news. Go to the Daily Mail website and we see what's doing out there in the world of the news. Let's go paddling in the shallow end of the gene pool, shall we? Do you fancy getting our feet wet? Why don't we? This is the story of Lewis Stevenson, an influencer. Here he is. Yeah, you might want to put that back in your mouth, mate. He's a 26-year-old influencer, and he loved climbing up high things. Now, notice how I used the past tense there. Did you notice that? Notice how I used the past tense. This is the sort of thing he liked to do. Again, that's in London, overlooking London. And that was his thing. That was his shtick, to climb high places, to be a daredevil, as it were. Again, no helmet, no safety harness. Pure Darwinism in action. And this kind of stuff always excites me. It always excites me. And he used to, travel the world, getting these pics for his Instagram account. Again, these ones are in the city of London. But yeah, he's taken other ones. This one's on a roller coaster, and this one is on a wind turbine. You get the gist. You get the gist. You know where this is going. Yeah. Well, he went to Spain to visit one of the highest bridges there, the 630-foot Castilla-La Mancha Bridge. And it didn't go well. He slipped and fell to his doom. There we go. The Daily Mail tastefully asks, heartbroken girlfriend reveals the tragic last words of British daredevil. I imagine it would be, ah. What was the last thing that went through his mind? His arsehole. If he landed it first, that was. Again, I'm not making light. It's a tragedy, but this is why we have harnesses and safety helmets. This is Darwinism in action. I don't feel sorry for him, but I feel sorry for his loved ones and his relatives, and his friends who are very upset about this. But according to the article, his family tried to talk him out of it, but he wasn't having it. This was his mission in life, and there is always a payoff, and that's the end of that. I hope it was worth it. Probably not. It's good when the daredevils succeed, isn't it? It's good when the daredevils do their amazing stunt, but when they come a cropper, it's not so much fun. So there you go. Like I say, great sympathies to his family and friends there. What else have we got? This affects me. This affects me. Apparently, right, not saying hello to work colleagues, right, is breaking employment law. Yeah. An office worker will receive compensation after a recruitment boss breached employment law by refusing to say hello to her. Andrew Gilchrist refused to greet Nadine Hanson 3 times when she arrived for work, a Leeds Employment Tribunal heard. 3 times. Just 3 times. Crikey, he could be having a bad day. His cat could have died. Who knows? Mr. Gilchrist was probably angry at Miss Hanson because he thought she was late. He had no idea she'd been at a medical appointment. It's just a misunderstanding. Okay. The 62-year-old Gilchrist then gave 2 colleagues pay rise without telling her, with an air of confronting her. His behaviour led to Miss Hanson winning an unfair dismissal claim, with the employment judge Sarah Davies concluding his behaviour was unreasonable and likely to undermine trust and confidence. Mr. Gilchrist, who had just taken over the business, was deliberately undermining regional operations manager Miss Hanson to try and force her to leave, it was heard. And here he is. I mean, I don't know, he looks like a friendly fellow, doesn't he? He's pointing at a statue of Winston Churchill there. So he's got to be all right. If he likes Winston Churchill, he's a patriot. He's got to be good. Miss Hanson, who eventually quit. Wait a minute, so she quit. How's that unfair dismissal? Suffer from anxiety. Of course, anxiety. Due to how she was treated by Mr. Gilchrist, and she now successfully sued his company for unfair dismissal. She also won a claim of unauthorised deduction from wages after Mr. Gilchrist withheld her sick pay because he thought she was faking being unwell. Again, that you've got to be careful of. And yeah, she's in line to receive compensation from Interaction Recruitment Limited, which has 30 offices across the UK. So be careful out there. Be friendly. Even if your employees are taking advantage of you, of your friendly nature, you are a doormat now. You are a doormat. Again, people are so weak. I mean, the stuff I had to put up with. Right, okay, here's a story. I don't know if I've told you this one. I was working for a company, I won't name anywhere and who it was. But if you ask me of regrets, I'll say, yeah, I have one regret, and that's not picking up a chair and throwing it at this guy. Right, because I was working on a project and it was just me and this other fella, and we needed more people to help. It was an important thing. So I goes to him and I say, look, blank, we need more people. I think we need specialist people to be doing this. This is very, very difficult to do this and do my other job. I think we need help. I went to him as a professional, and he said, I don't think you're committed to your job. I don't think you're committed to this company. I think you may want to consider leaving. In fact, if you can't do this, I think you should leave. And I just was so shell-shocked by his response, I just walked out. And again, now, I would have picked up the chair and thrown at him. This is what we had to deal with back in the, whenever it was, again, not giving any names. This is what we had to deal with. We had to deal with all sorts of nonsense. But hey, there we go. Compensation for everywhere. And yeah, Gilchrist was found guilty for all of these things. So, yeah. It all came to when Miss Hanson handed in an 8-week notice in October 2023, saying she felt undervalued and undermined, and it caused her sleepless nights, upset and anxiety. Been there, done that, got the T-shirt. And so the compensation we determined at a later date. So be careful out there. Be careful. Blimey. So you've got to be pleasant to everyone. Apparently the England team's got a new manager called Thomas Tuchel, and yeah, it's probably not going to go very well. Oh, thank you, God, thank you. Oh, thank you. A man from Birmingham, right, discovered, right, that he was the second person, right, to be born with this particular peculiarity. Yes. And this is the weird thing, right? The 78-year-old's condition was only discovered after he donated his body to science upon his death. Right? Obviously, they examined him and went, "Oh, what have we got here?" Again, see how I'm keeping my powder dry. I'm pulling you in. What's the deformity of which we're speaking? But yeah, he's only the second person to be found, and this was doctors at the University of Birmingham's Medical School, right here, discovered this, and they said 1 in every 5 to 6 million boys is born with this condition. Oh, what's the condition? This is writing in the Journal of Medical Case Reports. Yeah, it's the story of a man, right, born with a condition known as Triphallia. Yeah, he had 3 penises. I bet he never left the house. But they reckon, again, they don't know. They reckon only one of them was functioning. The other 2 were attached within the skin of the scrotal sac. So he may not have even been aware of it. You see, it is believed that the man may have gone his whole life without being aware of his remarkable anatomical variety. But yeah, one in every 5 to 6 million boys are born with more than 1 penis, with over 100 cases of Triphallia, that's 2 penises, recorded worldwide. But this man is the second to have Triphallia. Yeah, so it's an unusual case, and he didn't even know, because the way they were formed within the scrotal sac. Fascinating. Look, educational. We've learned a new word, Triphallia. Try and slip it in to your conversation. Oh, you're filthy. You're filthy. You've got filthy minds, you have. Oh, can't do that one. Can we do this? Maybe. Apparently, Victoria's Secret, I don't know what that is, has been branded woke. Oh, they do underwear apparently. I've gone in. They did a fashion show which is returned. This fashion show has come back. Obviously, it's been out of action. It's the first time in 6 years that they've held this show, and the show that was held in the Brooklyn Navy Yard in New York was slammed for its woke agenda, with plus size and transgender models taking the stage for the first time, whilst many fans said the production was boring. And I'm gonna get demonetized. I'm trying to find one that we can show which isn't too. Well, we've got a plus size model. This is Ashley Graham, and see, there you go. And that's woke apparently. Not too. I was thinking of like really overweight models, but okay. Again, and let's see, very very woke, very very woke. That's Gigi Hadid. I can never say her name properly. Gigi Hadid. It's like a tongue twister, isn't it? It's like a tongue twister. But yeah, it's the first time it's been held in 6 years, because obviously it was out of fashion, and now it's back in fashion again. So, but some of these underpants are very impractical. I'm just looking at these pictures for research. Angels seem to be the theme, and this is transgender model Alex Consani. There you go. He's got it tucked in. It's very clever. That tuckers, they call that. Do you remember when tuckers was your shirt? Are you tucking in or tucking out? Do you remember that? Now it's your cock. Am I allowed to say cock? Am I? Oh, I've just said it. Meanwhile, in the world of stupid. Oh man! Again, because of the filter, it's going to be looking for certain words. I've got to reconfigure my brain so I don't fall foul of the algorithm. Why don't you just script it, Darren? You should just script it and make your life a lot easier. A bride has been branded a kiddie fiddler. Yeah, I don't think, would it pick up kiddie fiddler? If we use British euphemisms, the American algorithm won't figure it out. Yeah, she's been accused of being a kiddie fiddler because she shared her wedding photos, right? And firstly, it's 2 ladies, right? But obviously one of them's a butch femme, and that's fine. We like that. But they say that it's underage. But no, There's only 2 year difference in their age. Obviously, Lauren, she's I think she said 31, is the lady, and Hannah on the right is the man. Nice suit. I quite like the suit actually. I do like a waistcoat. Very hard to pull off check though sometimes, but very nice suit there. And yeah, people have accused her of being a paedophile, even though there's a 2 year age difference. People are dumb. People are dumb. And here they are together in another picture. There we go. She was on Instagram attacked for marrying someone so young, even though 2 years. Isn't it nice when people are in love? I wonder what that's like. But there you go. So there you go. Who'd have thought it? Women can get married now. Who'd have thought that? Lesbian. They're actually. It's good to see some real lesbians around, not those fake lesbians that have penises at the moment. That is an animal story. Oh, thank you, Daily Mail. Daily Mail is on form today. Mwah. Daily Mail is on form, though there are quite a few horrible murder stories. Yeah, can't read that one. Meanwhile, you wouldn't want to be a cartoonist, a satirist in Saudi Arabia. I never knew that there were such things. Yeah. Did you know that they have satirists in Saudi Arabia? How do they draw? With their mouths? Because I imagine they have their hands cut off. But yeah, right. Mohammed Al-Hazza, right, has been he's been sentenced to prison. There isn't a picture of his criminal work, unfortunately. But yeah, he's been sentenced to 20 years over some political cartoons which allegedly insulted the Gulf Kingdom's leadership. His sister and rights groups announced this week. And as to concerns about freedom of expression under Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman's rule in Saudi Arabia, especially as the area is trying to open up to tourist and investment. The father of 5 was arrested in January 2018 in Saudi Arabia during a violent raid in which security forces entered his home and ransacked his studio. And court documents said that charges against him concern offensive cartoons he produced for the Qatari newspaper Lusali, as well as social media posts that were allegedly hostile to Saudi Arabia and supportive of Qatar. Okay, let me see if I can find these pictures. I'm going to see if I can. I'm doing research. I'm doing live research. You don't get this. You don't get this anywhere else. Live research. We've got the picture of his cartoons. Images. No. Yeah, but he got 23 years in prison. And here he is, got a picture of him. Here he is, and here's the cartoonist. So now I'm surprised. One, I didn't think they had satire in Saudi Arabia because, authoritarian dictatorship type place. And yeah, he's got a lot of time to practice, isn't he? That's all we can say, because he ain't coming out. No. What else have we got? We do like a tree story, but this again, it's a very unhappy tree story. Khalil Hussein, a property developer, cut down 6 protected 100-year-old oak trees from the front garden of his £770,000 house. The oak trees were worth an estimated £250,000 collectively, and they fell in contravened a tree preservation order. He'd purchased the house in the Nabwood area of Bradford 3 years ago for his son and young family, but despite reservations, no one was living at the property. and they've got one of those little slider things where you can slide the picture over to see the before and after damage. So it's all, I like this. It's very clever. It's like one of those books you used to get as a kid. You ready? Before, after. Oh my goodness! Before, after, before, after. Look, you just. I love that. Now you'd think for doing that, you'd think he'd get a big trouble, wouldn't you? But yeah, Mr. Hussain pled guilty to the charge of contravening a tree preservation order at Bradford Magistrates Court. This happened last week, and he was fined £1,666. That's £277 per tree, and ordered to pay £3,000 worth in costs. Neighbours along the street are speaking out and over the upset and distress caused by his actions. The local community are very upset, and Mr. Hussain just said, "Just a tree, man. It's just a tree. They grow back." I imagine that's what he said. I don't think he gives a hoot, because these people that do this don't tend to give a monkey's, do they? Professor Peter Vowden, who lived next door to the property, said it has changed the character of this part of the neighbourhood. I'm glad he's been found guilty, but disappointed with the fine. It sends a message out that we can all chop down trees here and there, and there won't be any trouble. It just wouldn't be nab wood if that were the case. Well, nab wood, it's in the name, wood. It's in a wood, isn't it? So yeah, it's a great shame. A great shame. But yeah, he has been ordered to plant 6 new oak trees. But yeah, Professor Vowden said, "I won't be alive by the time they've grown to decent size." So there you go. That's not justice. That's not justice, is it? Meanwhile, learners of driving, even learner drivers. There's a driving test black market, with fraudsters offering early booking slots for 4 times the standard price. Yeah, did you know that? Because appointments for driving tests are like hen's teeth these days. Yeah, there's a whole black market out there where you can pay extra to jump the queue. Who'd have thought, eh? I mean, I've heard of people taking tests on other people's behalf. This is a new one. Yeah, test bookings are now being sold at the inflated price of £200 through third-party websites. And the RAC has warned provisional licence holders to watch out for misinformation from fraudulent websites to avoid giving out any personal details, because these websites are run by fraudsters. Yeah, since January 2023, the DVSA, that's the Driver Vehicle and Standards Agency, has issued 283 warnings, 746 suspensions, and closed 689 businesses for misuse of the booking system. Yeah, they're responsible for monitoring driving tests. But the RSC has found many unofficial sites still offer booking slots for around £200 each. And yeah, so you've got to be careful out there. Be careful. Be careful. Meanwhile, Mrs. Brown's Boys has been thrown into uproar because they were rehearsing the Christmas special, and was it Brendan O'Carroll did a racist joke as part of the script read through. He says, "I don't call a spade, I call a spade a," and it's the inference is he says the N-word, but he's interrupted by his daughter in the play in the TV show, and of course that's not a good joke. You might have got away with that in the 70s, but not now. It's just not a good joke. And yeah, apparently doubt has been thrown over the production. I've never got that programme. I remember I was flicking over when it was first on, I think it was early days of it. And again, this is another offensive term. I literally flicked over, and he was talking about, he was calling someone a split arse. And I heard that term since the 1970s, which is it's a derogatory term for a girl or a woman. And I was like, I'm not shocked by language, but it's like, I haven't heard that in such a long time. And I immediately turned over again. And that shows you the mentality of Brendan O'Carroll. You know, he is, not very good. Not very good, but hey, there you go. What else have we got? Good news for Marmite fans? Yeah. No? Yeah. Marmite Squeezy is back. Yeah. I didn't know they banned it. It's, again, for those people who want an instant hit of Marmite. And again, those squeezes are great, but you leave a lot stuck to the top. You know, you've got to take the lid off at the end and then get a knife in there or a spoon. Yeah. After 4 years off the scene, the Marmite Squeezy is back. A lot of people will be hurrahing at that. Are you one of them? Like this, like my work, like me, it's a bit Marmite. God, there's even more about the Victoria's Secret knicker parade. They're doing a hit piece on both Greg Wallace and John Turode for their inappropriate sexual comments. No, it's called innuendo. Innuendo. Remember, if you're going to have one, have a big one. MasterChef and their presentation style has been full of innuendo for as long as I can remember. You know. But now it's wrong. Do you know why? Because they're old, they're white, and they're male. Straight male. So, goodbye. You had a good career. So yeah, very strange how they're going after them now, because they've been doing it. It's been their shtick for years. And the Daily Mail have compiled a little montage of them being sexually inappropriate. Buttery biscuit base. Some of you will remember that. No. Of course, James Blunt this week, he is he's using kind of a reverse psychology, some sort of weird psychological trick to get his album back in the chart. James Blunt, here he is. A lot of people don't like him. I like him because he was fighting during the Bosnian War, I think it was, you know, back in the old days. And a little known fact, James Blunt can be credited for stopping World War III. So he's all right in my book. But he wants to get his album Back to Bedlam back in the charts, because he's released a 20th anniversary edition of it, and he said if it goes to number one this Friday, he's going to change his name. And on, I think it was on X, he gave what's the favourite name, and the one that seems to be winning at the moment is Blunty McBluntface. And that's but he said he's not sure how long he's going to have to change his name. Some of the other contending names were Jimmy Spliff, Blames Junt, James Cuckin Funt, and Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Pop Star Four-Chord Song Machine. I like that one. But yeah, so he might be changing his name. He's got again. If you see him on X, he's just very funny. He's very good. He's got a very dry sense of humour, and although I wouldn't say I'm a fan of his music, I think as a guy he's very funny and he sends himself up, and that's to be commended. We need more of that. What else have we got? Oh, this is interesting. This is a video by a parkour runner, Adam Marr, and he's been free running for a long time, and he's done a little video, right? It's a little 40-second video, which I'm going to try and queue up, and I imagine there'll be an advert. I know you like this bit. Shut up. But in this video, he demonstrates how easy it is to steal your phone. Right? So he runs through, and look, this is all in 40 seconds. He's running through, and he sees another one. There's another one, and there's another one. Drunk. That's another one. He's good. There's another one. I tell you, you wouldn't be able to catch up with him. So yeah, that's the thing. Don't worry, he didn't really steal them. He handed them back afterwards, but he made the video. He stole 6 mobile phones worth a combined £4,500 in 40 seconds, and it was done to highlight just how easy this is. And here he is, and what an amazing demonstration. But yeah, but he was inspired to do this after reading a Met Police report which stated that one phone is robbed every 6 minutes in London. He thought, hold my beer, I can do better than that, and he did. It's just again, everyone's head down. We see it on the dog walk. Everyone. I mean, yesterday morning, every person we walked past was just, I don't know. Oh, we've got something for the mums. Here you go. Here is Ma, looking good. There we go. That's exactly what I look like in the mirror. It's amazing. It's just like they put his head on my body. How do they do that? How do they do that? It must be a filter or something. But there you go. So be careful out there. Be careful. Be careful. You don't want to get your phone nicked. Or you just buy a real cheap one. Get one of those Nokia big button phones, and then they'll really be disappointed. It reminds me when the missus's car got broken into. Like, I don't know, must have been about 20 years ago now. And they nicked her radio. Little did they know, it was a Seisho one that I fitted, and it cost a tenner. I bet when they took that to the pub to get fenced, they were laughed out of the pub. There you go. I've got another video. Yeah, here it is. We're going to Indonesia. Whoops. Gotta get this right. I'm going to Indonesia, and it's a case of now you see him, now you don't. So, do you see him? Do you see him? And there he is from a different angle. And now you don't. So, yeah. Roni Joshua Simanjuntak from North Sumatra was visiting the Kedung Tumpang beach in East Java when the tragedy struck. The young man was standing on wet rocks with several friends when a huge wave crashed into boulders, sending him, well, out to sea. Rescue teams are still searching for the missing youngster. They haven't given up yet. But yeah, that's the power of nature. But the important thing is they got the shot, didn't they? They got the shot. But again, it's Darwinism in action. You'll be very careful. Very, very careful. Very, very careful. And oh yeah, here we go. Oh blimey! I better do this one and get out. I did have some fun stories. I've got loads of fun. We'll do these tomorrow. We'll do the fun ones tomorrow. But yeah, we're going to Egypt. We're going to the Great Pyramid of Giza, and a fellow was soaring above the pyramids, like you do. He was on one of those like paraglider type things, when he couldn't believe his eyes. Here we go. So he's above the pyramid, and he's thinking, oh, look at that. That's amazing. Again, I think tourists are banned from like going up it now. So I think that's probably the best way of seeing it, is going above it. And what does he see on the pyramid? There's a blooming dog. Look, a dog at the top of the pyramid. And it's like, he can't believe what he's seen. Yes, he saw a dog atop the 450-foot Great Pyramid of Giza, which is the largest of the 3 pyramids. And yeah, this is, I don't know if you can see it there. Again, it's not very good. Need a bit of a higher resolution camera, but you can see. It doesn't help that he's a tan dog on the on the back of the. If he was a black dog, you'd have seen him a bit better. But yeah, they reckon he'd gone up the top of the pyramid to bark at birds. There he is. He's thinking, how the hell am I going to get down? But hey, he made it to the top. Anyway, let's see if there's anybody in the chat room. Got 12 people in. God, they're loving it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Andrew's in. He says, morning to you. Payne's in. He says, an 8-week notice must have been a fun time at the office. Brooding. It reminds me when I got made redundant. I got made redundant on the Monday, and they made me come in the whole week. And they even had like a Christmas party and that, and I wasn't invited because I'd been made redundant. It was the ultimate in psychological punishment. And I said, well, what happens if I don't come in? They said, you might not get paid. And it's like, great. So yeah, that was IPC. I can say they've got, it's gone now, so I can actually name that one. So yeah, the treatment that I've been through, I could get. Where's my bleating compensation, eh? Is that Ed Sheeran? No, I don't think it is. Runs in. That's all right, Clive. He says, I like James Blunt. His music is awful, but he's great. Yeah, again, I think he's very funny. Dog Cam, she's not here. And Alex is in. He says, afternoon. And Run says, that is an amazing Dog Cam. Yeah, I can't beat that one, can I? I can't beat that one. But I imagine Layla doing that if there was a car at the top of the pyramid, because she's obsessed with cars. Obsessed with them. So I can imagine her chasing a car to the top of the pyramid and not much else. But anyway, thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. That was the news for today. Killing the channel one video at a time. That was coffee time. You know you got to drink it up. Off for a bacon sandwich. Ta-ta.